I'll attach a bid for both of these methods with this email here, but I wanted to ask a couple of questions and clear a couple things up. So in the background here, you see the OEM way of assembling that McMaster shaft collar. This is the component you asked me to make and the block that it mounts into. The reason it's welded is because you're asking an awful lot of work out of those two bolts to hold this shaft in place, as that inertia when the fixture rotates is pounded on those bolts. So somebody took it upon themselves to solve that problem with the welder. So I didn't like that. The other thing is the print calls out this the end of this shaft should be 1.73, and I think that they did that because this shaft collar collapses down to 1.73. But it's really intended to clamp on 1.75 inches. That's how you're going to get the most surface area out of it. So I would like to change that on the print to 1.75 inches if I can, at the very least. But I think the best way to solve this problem is with a couple of McMaster-Carr collars and a weldment. I can make this base plate really cheaply. You can see I just copied what was already there and TIG weld this together as an assembly fairly cheaply. But that's really not my main motivation. My motivation was if I made the block that I want to make, it would be more expensive than this block, than the OEM block. The way to hold that shaft without those bolts seeing so much torque is with the same kind of clamp that you're using on that end. And so I picked a couple of collars out that would accomplish that goal for me fairly cheaply. And I think it's just the best thing to do to just TIG weld that together. But if you disagree, I can certainly bid on making a split block. That's how most of the industry does their end supports. But the other thing I would suggest is just use keyed shafting. This is 1.75 inch keyed shaft. You can see it's really inexpensive. And the next time that this happens, then that the keyway wears out, you don't have to pay somebody to make it. You can just order a McMaster-Carr part number and you're good to go. One thing that I did not model on here is that you'll need some kind of a collar. I'll have to machine a collar that bumps you up to 2 inches so that your bearing works. The bearing that's on there currently is a 2-inch bearing. Now we could look into making that a 1.75 inch bearing, but it's probably cheaper for me just to make a sleeve that slips over this shaft and shrinks in place, and you know, you could take it off with a little heat, or you could use green Loctite and put that on the shaft so that your pillow block bearing works. Like I said, I'll have a bid for both of these in the email, and just let me know which one you think you might want to do. They're virtually identical otherwise. Oh, I did want to mention that the top of this block currently has something mounted to it. If I need to, I can certainly model these gussets to come up and give you a flat surface to mount onto. I don't know if that, I forget, yesterday when I saw it, I should have taken a picture. I forget how crucial that was. I think it was just some kind of a airline or something. It wasn't critical, but if it is, let me know. Thank you.